So, keeping up with the theme of ZeusWeusFilm over the past 2 weeks, the content's still a little f***ed. It's been a very busy couple of weeks, and the content's kind of been all over the place for the most part. But you know, we're going to start getting back into the swing of things. You'll hear about in this Friday's podcast, we got Knock Knock filmed. There's a lot of different things happening. So now it's the time to just fully focus on this, so you won't have content for much longer. But as today is Wednesday, it is Wednesday, isn't it? As today is Wednesday, we have another We Talk About Monster House. Probably my favourite childhood Halloween film, second maybe only to The Corpse Bride. But Monster House, it's about a house, and so there's this old man Nebbercracker, and he lives in this house on this pristine American suburb street. Instantly, you're showing this wee girl, she's riding a tricycle, and it gets stuck on his lawn, and he comes out and, you know, destroys the tricycle, yells at the wee girl, and then disappears inside. He doesn't like kids being on his lawn. You see that a lot of this is being watched through a telescope by a guy called DJ, who lives right across the street. DJ has been keeping an eye on Nebbercracker. He knows there's something up with the house, but he thinks it's all to do with Nebbercracker. He thinks that he's an evil old man who killed and ate his wife and all this stuff. So that happens. He goes downstairs. Him and his parents talk about puberty. And then Chowder, probably the most... How do you describe Chowder? On the one hand, he's like really lovable, but on the other hand, it's like that first scene where like he nearly gets run over by the car. You almost kind of like wish he did. And him and DJ start talking. DJ tells him he doesn't want to go trick or treating this year because he's a grown up. He's grown up. He's grown past all that. He doesn't want to do it anymore. And then Chowder starts playing with his basketball and nearly kills himself. And it bounces across the road and gets stuck in Nebbercracker's lawn. Chowder, being too scared to go and get it, makes DJ do it. And surprise, surprise, Nebbercracker comes out and catches DJ. But there's a twist. Nebbercracker suffers a heart attack and presumably dies right there on the lawn. You're also shown that when that happens, the inside of the house, a fire's lit, almost like the house is grieving. And DJ thinks he's being haunted by Nebbercracker's ghost. So he starts to get phone calls from the house, he's having nightmares, all sorts of things. So he goes and he tells Chowder about this, and they go to investigate, and Chowder nearly dies again for the second time. So they camp out at DJ's overnight to keep watching the house through a telescope. But the next day, they're introduced to the third member of the group, Jenny, which both boys are immediately infatuated with. They fall in love with her, but there's one problem. She's going to try and sell cookies to Nebbercracker. They go across the street, they save her, go back to the house, sort of get to know each other a little bit. DJ and Chowder have some interactions, and then they hatch this plan to sneak into the house. So one thing leads to another, they start looking into the house, and they're told by Skull, was that his name? He's a gamer at the diner, and he tells them that you have to destroy the heart if you want to destroy the monster. So they think that the furnace that was lit earlier is the heart. So they go to hatch this plan to sneak into the house, but it's foiled by the police. Not that that matters, because the police are eaten by the house. And then they're eaten by the house. But that means they're inside the house. So their plan worked, in a sense. They're inside the house. And while they're in there, they're looking around. Scary stuff starts to happen. The house comes alive. Chowder gets confused about female anatomy. And then DJ comes to a sort of realization that he doesn't think that Nebuchadnezzar did kill his wife. He thinks that she maybe just died, and he's trying to protect the kids from the house who's, you know, trying to eat them. The house throws up, and then they leave. Thrown up out of the house. They all have an argument. DJ goes to go home, but then Nebuchadnezzar comes back in an ambulance. He's not dead. He's still here. And they have a wee interaction with him, and DJ finally comes clean to him and says, I don't think you killed your wife. I think you're a good man who's trying to protect the kids. And we get a flashback, and DJ was right. Turns out that Constance, his wife, which is what she's called, died on accident, but her soul was trapped in the house because she was buried under the cement, which is quite an awful way to die now that I think about it. So Constance doesn't like the fact that Nebuchadnezzar's made friends with the kids, and the house starts to walk and try to eat them. There's a chase that goes all the way to the construction yard where they're building this big hotel or something. I don't know what it was. That's where we get the final showdown, where they all come together, they have a big fight, they blow up the house, and Nebuchadnezzar has a admittedly quite sad send-off with his wife. But then we get a reasonably happy ending, because Nebuchadnezzar's happy. He can be himself with all the kids again. He doesn't have to keep up this evil persona to protect everyone. All the kids get their toys back. Everyone that was eaten, or at least anyone that we've seen got eaten, gets out. And last but not least, DJ agrees to go trick-or-treating with Chowder. It's actually pretty funny that I said that this or Corpse Bride is probably one of my favourite Halloween films from when I was a kid, because one of the writers, Pamela Petler, I think her name is, was actually a writer on both films, so I guess maybe just there is a wee bit of interconnectivity between them. So Monster House goes into that same sort of category of like, it's hard to describe, you know, like those Halloween films like this, or Corpse Bride, or The Nightmare Before Christmas, or a billion other ones I could name, that they're not like terrifying, but the reason they're maybe so appealing is the Halloween atmosphere around them. Like, not a terrifying, you know, Halloween Michael Myers atmosphere, but more of like a, it's hard to describe, it's just like it's like a really nice, warm Halloween feeling movie. That's the sort of like, you know, atmosphere that this and the other two that I mentioned, Nightmare Before Christmas and Corpse Bride, sort of give off. The animation style is also a bit weird, like it's CG animated, there's no, you know, it's not like Nightmare Before Christmas where it's practical and stuff like that, but it's strange. The weird thing about the animation is, I think it's the like low frame rate of it, like it feels really choppy, and paired that with like some really unnatural movements from the characters, it looks really off-putting. It works for the film, but it's kind of strange. That's it. It's an enjoyable film. It's still sort of the right time of year to watch it. I would recommend Monster House to anyone.